for the ultimate source of inspiration, knowledge, and entertainment, look no further. Network Kingdom is a unique platform that brings together experts from various industries. Through networking and collaboration, we create inspiring conversations that educate, entertain, and motivate our listeners. Whether you're a business professional, an entrepreneur, or simply someone looking to grow their knowledge base.
Hello, everyone. I have with me this excellent woman that I met. You know that I go around the world meeting exceptional ladies. And today I have with me an amazing lady who is doing something that I one of those things that you kind of think that you can do or you would want to do or you would dream of doing. Her name is Shivana, and she's a pilot. We know there are not that many female pilots. I know that lately there's been quite a number, but it's still majorly a male-dominated profession. So Shivana, I'm so happy to have you here with me, miles away, but thank God for technology.
Yeah, thank God for technology, Omu. And it's Shivani with an I at the end. Yeah, but I understand. Yeah, I understand. Whenever I fly to Lagos or Kenya or they're always Nairobi. So they're always adding an A at the end. I think that's how the trend is there, right?
So yes, it is. So you've flown to Lagos.
Yes, I have. And also I usually now fly to Nairobi. Most of the time we do also have a layover. I've been in Lagos and I know that it's also a city which is developing very fast and kind of like in Hollywood for Africa.
That's so nice. That's so nice to know. So
Yeah,
tell me, why piloting? Sorry to cut you in. I'm not going to interrupt you anymore. Just go ahead.
Well, I think maybe just because I was meant for it, honestly. So, I have a very simple funda in life, okay? Things which gives you goosebumps, that means that's the thing which touches your heart. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you always get goosebumps, and the correct way to know, if you have goosebumps, that means something you felt inside through your soul, through your heart, or somewhere else, but that meant something for you. Okay, so when after my 12th, I was going through my career choices, this was one thing which gave me goosebumps, and since then it has been no looking back.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And did you have any opposition when you said you were going to go into piloting?
Thankfully, I come from a very educated background. So both my parents are very well educated and very advanced in nature, in the sense they are very adaptive to the new things. They are very adjusting to the new things. And my mother has also been working while she was, throughout her life. And so has my father. And they always wanted their kids to have the bestest of the education, whatever we wanted to pursue. So when I chose this actually it was my dad's idea itself. So while sitting, I was discussing it with my parents that after my high school, that what should I be doing, because I'm running out of options, but nothing is exciting me enough. And that's when he said, "Why don't you become a pilot?" And that's when I had my first goosebump, and I knew that I had to do this.
So I love traveling. I absolutely, I would travel.
Me too.
But the scary thing is, I don't know that I like flying. I'm actually afraid, But I like traveling, so I wish I could sleep and wake up and find myself there. So I fly. But anytime I'm flying, and especially when it gets turbulent, I start praying and I'm like, God, just save me this one more time and I'll never enter a plane again.
Well, I think I'm going to tell you something which will actually kill your fear for flights forever. All right. Firstly, it's one of the safest mode of transportation. There's only 1% of accidents which has ever happened as it compared to what happens on road, on car, on bikes, or on ships or trains. It's still the one of the least number of accidents which has ever happened is on in air. Okay, firstly. Secondly, the aircrafts are more than capable of handling the situations by themselves. But if something goes majorly wrong, that's when we come into picture. And we are highly trained professionals. We go through rigorous training. I bet you if you just come up with us in one of the, or you just, watch any of these YouTubes with the simulator training, you will have an idea about how we handle things. So it's pretty much like we really have to go through rigorous training before getting to fly these big jets. And if we do not get by, then we do not get to sit there as well. If we are not good enough, so we don't even get to sit where I'm sitting right now. So firstly, yeah, all the pilots are very well trained. Even the cabin crew are very well trained to handle situations if in case of emergency. But otherwise, it's one of the safest mode of travel. And if you start looking outside the airplane, you start enjoying the view. Okay, with it, if you start enjoying the clouds, the sky, the stars, or the landscape, the mountains and the rivers, I think you'll just fall in love with it forever.
It's funny you'll say that. I do not sit by the window.
So you have fear of heights.
I simply don't. And when I'm checking in, I like to board very early. And when I'm checking in and they're offering me the window seat, I'm like, no, I've seen enough of the air and ground. I don't want to see anything from that distance. Time, and I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to sit by the window. And the minute I sit down, I draw the line. So I get really upset when they say, oh, pull it up for landing or take off. And when they're landing, it's only when they're getting really close to the ground that I actually
Well, I think then more than flying fear, you actually have a fear of height.
So let me ask
you. So it goes hand in hand.
Yes. So let me ask you something now that I have you here.
Yeah.
I was saying to someone that just as you have rough drivers on the road, I think you have rough pilots as well. And I say this because sometimes you land and it's like the guy just takes off, it just, all I'm waiting to hear is a crash, I'm like, and there's speed, and then he's, you can feel him stepping on his brakes, things like that. And the only way I could analyze it to make sense to me and so not to make me scared is that you have some drivers who love to speed and who are rough, and then you have some pilots who love to speed as well. Is that true?
So when it comes to commercial flying, we follow a set path. We cannot just do as we like. Honestly,
but drivers we have speed limits on the road, and we have some drivers who clearly don't follow those speed limits.
Yes, but in an aircraft that does not happen because because we have a set route. We have we also have speeds which is given, which is the best speed to fly onto, which is an econ speed, which saves fuel as well as gets you in time to your destination. And the landing part where sometimes you just hit it off is because uh, Africa, especially in Africa, it's quite windy, okay, at Lagos and at times. And once it's really windy, we need to control the dynamics, the dynamics of the aircraft accordingly. So to have a smooth landing, it's kind of a little of a challenge once it's too windy. Okay, you can have it in a calm day. You can have it every time on a calm day, but when it's winding and gusting, the winds keep changing. There's some when it gusts, so it's either coming from left, right within seconds, right? So the aerodynamics of the aircraft keep changing. So at that point, the safety comes first rather than the smooth landing, and that's how you hit it a little harder than what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Or otherwise, next time fly with Air India. I think we have one of the bestest pilots who can do
Oh
the most
yeah, right.
amazing, amazing landings. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. I think last year itself, I think it was Chicago or New York. Um, Somewhere, and it was really windy and the weather was really bad, and 3 4 aircrafts have come in and tried to land, but they couldn't make a positive touchdown, so had to go around. But the Air India was the only one who made and landed
Yeah.
it.
Okay,
So we have some
congrats.
excellent pilots. Yeah, we have some excellent pilots, and our training in that level are especially when it comes to landing and the safety of aircraft is amazing.
Well done. So, I mean, what's the favorite part of being a pilot? What's the favorite part?
You do what you love what you do, and you travel the world, and your job is only restricted to once you are into the aircraft. After that, whenever you're on a layover, you're free. Whenever on ground, you're always like free. The only time
So,
you're doing your job also, it's I mean, if you have a passion for it, if you love it, it doesn't feel like work at all. And there's no pressure, there's no deadlines, there's no, we just we just take off, we just get passengers from one place and land them to the other safely to the destination. And I think that's the best part about it. We do study hard to reach here, but once you're here, uh, I think then you start getting used to the process, and everything gets inculcated in your body in such a manner that everything everything starts to how do you cook, Omo?
yes.
Do you cook? I'm asking. Yeah, right. So if you're if you're cooking your favorite dish or a dish which you cook daily, do you measure the amount of salt which needs to go in? Your hands automatically
After some
go
time,
in, right?
you're used to it, so you can actually
Yes,
just
yes. So after some time, it becomes so comfortable that you know what you're doing, and the work doesn't feel like work, and it's just it's in your body. You know what to do it. Even you have that routine already set for yourself, and I think that's the best part about it. It's quite
amazing.
stress free. It's quite stress free when you fly. When you're flying, you're actually operating a flight as well.
So when you're not flying, do you what else do you do? What I mean,
When I'm not flying, okay, when I'm not flying, I do this. I'm here in my office, and this is Keep'em Flying Aviation Academy. And I've recently started this venture where now I am also taking efforts to, making inspiring women to come into the cockpit side more rather than.
So when you're not flying, what do you do?
Okay, so there are two things which I do the most, which I'm not when I'm not flying. One is my social media, which is if you go on my Instagram, the reason I started it was to solve people's query once they are on this path, because this is not a sort of this course is not available in universities, and there's no set way to do it. You have to go to one place, other place, other place. Lot of paperwork, lot of requirements, lot of things are involved once you want to become a pilot. And here in India, we're especially struggling with a lot of regulatory requirements, which is hard for let's say new students to come in and to understand. So I was doing that. I was trying to educate people about aviation, being in the cockpit side of the aviation industry, and specifically women, because we are very few in number as compared to the males. And secondly, after doing that for 5 years, I have now recently opened this where I'm sitting right now. This is my office. I'm here in Keep'em Flying Aviation Academy. And it's an academy which makes you a pilot.
Yes.
So
So when I want to become a pilot, I can come there.
yes, you can. And we take care of everything. We just don't do one part of it. We take care of everything from the beginning till the end, until you get a job. We do everything, take care of everything for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think this is
Awesome.
one thing which was lacking behind a lot around here. I think only one or two people apart from me are before me have been successfully doing this. But yeah, I thought that it's very difficult to cope up with a lot of regulatory requirements which we have with our governing body, with civil aviation. So I thought, why not? Why not? I've been doing counseling, I've been guiding people, I've been helping them out through my social media from past 5 years, because I've had my own, share of backsets when it comes to aviation. And I didn't want people to go through that phase. So that's the reason I started doing my social media thing. But how the response was going, how it has been going till date, I think, and with the love and the support of all these followers I had, or all these students who wanted to come up front and talk to me face to face many times, so that if they want to become a pilot, they could just reach out to me. Yeah.
You make it
So
sound
I thought,
easy. You make it sound easy. I don't imagine that it's easy to have so it's a piloting school.
yes.
Or academy. I don't know.
Yes. It's an aviation academy and we make pilots here.
So an aviation academy, it doesn't sound as easy as you're making it seem.
Yeah. So as I said, I have a very, very simple funda of knowing that which direction I should go to. So one day I was just sitting and, as on my social media again, and, they've always kept telling me that we want to talk to you, we want to meet you, we want some counseling, we want some guidance. We are stuck here, we are stuck there. What should I do? What should I not do? So one day someone just popped up this question: why are you running your own academy? If you're not, then why don't you start? And until before, I never thought of doing this. I never thought that I could do this, because I don't know. I just never thought of it, right?
Yeah.
So when this idea came across, and I was like, maybe I can do it. And the moment I said I can do it, I can have my academy, and the name popped up. It has to be Keep'em Flying Aviation Academy. And when I heard that name, I had goosebumps again. And
I'm going
that's
to try this goosebumps thing.
yeah. You really, when I do something, I honestly want to feel what I'm doing. If I'm not feeling it, I won't have my heart and soul to it. And
Absolutely.
then it will be just a thing which I have to do to get it over with. But this is about the career. This is about helping others. This is about getting all these kids who want to pursue aviation, become a pilot. It's a good time for it's I think I just had to do it then.
That's really nice. That's really nice. So how many aviation schools or academies do they have in India?
Well, we have a lot of academies who are doing the ground job. Like a lot means a lot.
Who are doing what?
Doing ground classes. But
Okay.
I think now we have about 10 to 15 flying schools as well. So Indian Aviation have recently been on a fast track, and MOCA, which is Ministry of Civil Aviation, has gotten a target and wants the Indians to open up schools. They want to open up. They have been opening up a lot of runways. So they also want to, become Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is a self-dependent India. So before this, since the requirement was always so high, we would always have to send kids out to meet those requirements of training the pilots. So to in favor of getting all of that and to do it all here in India, since India in terms of aviation is booming so much. So the MOCA has decided that they'll open up, a lot of runways, and they want to open up a lot of flying schools in India, and which has happened. Like in the past 3-4 years, there has been a huge change in Indian aviation industry, especially when it comes to the training part of it. Of course, the airlines and everything is growing big and big and big, but when it comes to training, we were really lacking behind a lot. But since our government is supporting us, they want to do us, they want India to be more than sufficient to handle their own trainings and their own pilots. So they have helped, they have made runways, they have given a lot of flying schools, these grants to run the flying schools, help them set up rather the flying schools, and help them to set it up, and meet their requirements as well simultaneously. And to do that, then again, once that is done, you also need pilots to be trained in terms of the subjects, in terms of flying requirements, and in terms of other regulatory requirements, which is for the license. And for that, I think, this India has been progressing so much. And here right now in India, we have a lot of flying schools. Some are doing so amazingly well. The course of training in aviation has changed tremendously in the past 3-4 years.
Awesome. So, is it, when we're looking for yours, is it keep them flying, or do we remove the TH?
We remove the TH.
So even when we're looking for it online?
Yes. We're there
Okay.
by keepemflying.in. Simple.
Okay, so keep them flying. So
Yeah.
where do we see Keep'em Flying in the next 5 years?
Well, first to help these kids to not, yes. Well, I do have other goals which I'm not going to discuss right now.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
we have big
Fine.
plans. I already have two
I
more
can tell
setups
I'm
already
having
in mind.
goosebumps. I can tell I'm having.
So when I started this, I also came up with two more ideas, which I'll be working on after we are done setting this up and running it up for some time, and doing this once established on this firm. Then I have two more things already there in my head which I want to run, and yeah. Inshallah, soon now you'll see, hear the, and probably next
I
time
can't
once you
wait.
interview me, I'll be
I
doing
can't
that.
wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So with Keep'em Flying, do you have any because I know that I can sense that you're driven to encourage women. Do you have any special package or special what would I say, path or anything special for women in your corporation?
So as of now, see, we don't do discrimination when it comes to. The first thing you need to understand that once you don that uniform, okay, you're not a male or a female anymore. Okay, the struggle is the same. The machine which we fly does not know who's flying it, if it's a male or a female, right? So we do not differentiate. All I'm doing here is to encourage them by being out there, being vocal about it, and spreading the word about it. And I'm getting a really good response. Me as a secretary for Indian Women Pilot Association Delhi, as IWPA, we call it IWPA, which is Indian Women Pilot Association. So we have a target of getting a number of 25% of female aviators by the year 2025 in India. Yeah, so we're working on that target, and inshallah, yeah, we should be able to achieve it as well. And everything what we are doing is to encourage them. But yeah, when it comes to the hardship, when it comes to being here, then there's no discrimination. Everyone has to be here and will be treated equally. We are not discriminating anyone here that this person can get, or females will get this much or this much. As of now, I thought of it, but then I realized that we cannot do that. It will be a little unfair to the machine which we fly, right? And since
I
that will
kind of get where you're coming from.
Yeah, because that machine will never differentiate once you are flying it. And yeah, everyone has to be equally ready, equally pay for it.
So on a final note, if there's anyone listening and they want to get in touch or come to your flying school or do anything around the aviation industry, how will they get in touch with you? And what advice would you give to anyone out there who wants to come on board?
Okay, we are there on all the social media platforms. Okay, you can Instagram us. We have a website as well. Just Google us. You can just we have our contact details there. There is our email address. There is also a phone number, and a lot of students can come and call me and even interact with me one-on-one on a phone call if I'm here, if I'm not flying, and and they can come and interact with me here itself. And yes,
what's your name on Instagram?
It's again Keep'em Flying Aviation Academy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm myself known as Keep'em Flying 787. So I don't use Shivani Kalra there. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, this is something which stuck to me when I was doing my training back in 2005. Uh, and since then, this name has always, this tagline has always, uh, you know, been with me. I don't know, for some reason. Yeah,
I
and it
like it.
has, yeah, and it's keep M flying, KEEP apostrophe SEM and flying FLYING. And I'm Keep'em Flying 787. I'm known on all the social media as Keep'em Flying 787. And my academy is also Keep'em Flying 787. Oh, Keep'em Flying Aviation Academy, sorry.
Aviation
Keep'em
Academy.
Yeah. So everything
Awesome.
everything is Keep'em Flying Aviation. Keep'em flying. Because what it means is you need to keep those aircraft flying.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what the motive is. Keep them flying, keep them coming in, keep them flying, more pilots, more infrastructure, more everything. And because these are meant to fly, aircrafts are not supposed to be on ground. They're only supposed to be on ground when you play, deplane or, get into an aircraft, board the plane or deplane the aircraft. So apart from that, they're always meant to be in air and flying. So that's why it's keep him flying.
Awesome. I've had such an amazing time talking to you. And
Same here,
I'm going to
Romo.
consider being a pilot.
Yes, you should. And yeah, if ever you're visiting here in Delhi, please let me know.
I will, certainly. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we
Thank you
spent
so
some
much.
time with Keep'em Flying, and I'm
Yeah.
highly motivated to become a pilot. Thank you. And if you want to see
Thank you.
this pilot's face, you want to go to the YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can listen on the podcast. Thank you very
Yes.
much. I'm out.
You've been listening to Network Kingdom with Omo Obulor. Remember, if you cannot see where you're going, ask someone who has been there before.